Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting list video. We are continuing our series of defining what cards, saying what cards define the class. We did Rogue class last week and now we're on the Seeker class. Why don't we dive right in and get this going? This should be a fun one, and actually I'm pretty sure we all have 3 different cards between us, which is kind of cool. Let's start with our number 3s. Bryn, take it away.
All right, I got deduction. This card says when you investigate, do better. That's like what yellow does.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played a yellow deck without this card.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you were correct.
Pretty sure.
Deduction was on mine. I mean, it was almost on mine, but then I was like, someone else is going to talk about deduction. And I was like, if no one does, then I'll bring it because, yeah, it's pretty much like the card that is in every yellow deck. Yeah. And every time you draw it, you're like, oh, that's deduction. It's here.
Yeah, it does the thing.
Yeah. It's like
the thing the yellow does.
Yeah. And it's the card that you put into your deck. Like to make like you put practice makes perfect in your deck. Part of it is to just get more deductions.
Yeah. Even if practice makes perfect was just one cost deduction, that's still good.
It's still good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is true.
My third card, first of my 3 cards is Pathfinder. To me, this represents like a lot of things in Seeker. Number 1. How undercosted their cards were usually when it was first starting out. Because like this at 1 experience is kind of wild. This is a very, very powerful effect for very little. And also this also represents to me like what Seeker was and still in a way is. I think that at this point now, Rogue and Seeker are kind of both in the same space for this movement. But like Pathfinder and Shortcut, they both live in that world of Seeker for me where it's like, oh, Seeker is the class that's like good at moving for free because they need to spend their actions getting clues. So they don't have time to spend their actions on moving anymore. So much to the point that like, you know, anytime you can get a movement for free in this, it's like probably best in the Seeker class or a class that can splash into Seeker, right? So I chose Pathfinder for that. This could also have been Shortcut. But Pathfinder also has that little extra Seeker flair where it's like your cards are a little bit too strong and you need to chill.
So it begins.
Yeah, so it begins. The running theme that's going to come through all this.
Yeah. My card that I chose is Occult Lexicon, and it's by extension Bloodright. This card is like a lot of what the Seeker class is about, in my opinion. So it's a tome, which is a big part of Seeker's identity, and the Bloodrights themselves draw you cards and gain your resources and do testless damage. Drawing cards is something, and gaining resources are both things that Seeker is quite good at. And doing testless damage is like something that Seeker is also very good at, but really shouldn't be. Seeker gets to do a lot of things that like they really shouldn't, but they just do, especially attached to the already good things they do. Like, Seeker also, like, the way the Bloodrights work, especially when you have the upgraded Occult Lexicon, unless you shuffle them back in, is very on brand for Seeker, where your cards are like just kind of their own engines in a lot of instances.
Yes.
Or they don't require very much to make make an engine work. So like Milan Christopher, who's just like basically a free book.
Yeah.
You know? It's just a lot of different aspects of the Seeker class I can see in Occult Lexicon. So
yeah, I agree completely. And Bloodright is like, it's just kind of wild that it deals...
It's kind of an abomination.
Yeah, testless damage should not be in the Seeker pie. Like, it just shouldn't be.
Well, I mean, like, I think it's okay with, like, very high level cards.
Okay, that's fair, yeah.
You know, like there are instances where it's reasonable, but it shouldn't be available at level 0
And then also like
for like free.
yeah, because it's also like it's a limit one of, right, where you're like, ooh, I have to find it. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, if only there was an easy way for me to do that.
Yeah. Oh, there's this.
If
I have 3
only
copies of
there
it in
was
my
an
deck.
easy way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, Research Librarian has a really nice library, huh?
Yes. It's like, hey, yo, I need that one book that has the fish next to it. And he's like, gotcha, fam. No problem.
Yeah, you got
I know.
any Occult Lexicon here? He's like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, do you happen to have a copy of the Noctic manuscript? He's like, oh yeah, just in the back. Let me go grab him for you.
You know, and we don't even tip him. We just let him die.
Yeah, he just dies.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep this going with our number 2. Bryn, what do you got?
I've got Strange Solution Acidic Ichor, which to me represents a piece of the yellow color pie of whatever you do, but better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, it's fair because I had to pay XP for it. And, well, yeah, not enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, this card is blue, but good.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that this card just represents the greedy yellow eating up everyone else's color pie.
Yeah. I'm not saying that somebody at Fantasy Flight Games have like their favorite color is yellow, but I am saying this is not the first time in one of their card games the yellow colored one has been the strong one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of
So
those.
there is that.
Yeah.
This one is just like, why does yellow get to do things outside their pie, but also like better than the guys who are supposed to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bring, you have to pass a book test.
Yeah, like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
Well, I mean, is it though?
Yeah.
There was a great moment I love where I was playing Amanda and I had this in Vicious Blow on me and I just killed a boss. That was kind of sick. And I was like, this feels fucking wrong.
Yeah, something about this is
right.
not right.
Yeah.
The
it
best
has.
part about it is like the Corset blue guy who gets to play with yellow cards can't even play with this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're like, no, this is
for
too
Rex
advanced.
Murphy.
You are not yellow enough to be this powerful.
Yeah.
He isn't.
It has been tabooed to now only deal +1 damage, and even though like it feels bad and like especially like, you know, like late into the, like it's like a little bit late. I mean, it also makes sense because it came out when the new Dunwich box, you know, came out, but still, like that's what it should have been from the get-go, because like
Yeah.
it's just kind of crazy. But this, once again, like this, it is like the Seeker cards. There is like it's in our Discord. I imagine it's in other Discords that are out there. It's on like Reddit. Just like Seeker. Is it just me or is Seeker pretty strong? Yeah, Seeker's pretty strong. And it's because of cards like this.
Yes, sir.
My number 2 is Cryptic Research. Travis is right. I'm just kind of like right in the middle for this video. Yellow draws cards. Like that's what they do. And this is the card that I think is incredibly powerful card draw because it costs 4 experience. I think this card is like actually like a relatively fair Seeker card, right? 4 experience is a lot, but it doesn't ask for anything else. It just asks for that 4 experience, and then you just choose an investigator, probably you because you're a greedy Seeker, even though you were the support class.
I mean,
you
your
draw
cards
3
are
cards.
objectively stronger.
Pardon?
Your cards are objectively stronger.
It's true. No, exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
better
yeah.
3 cards.
You're actually griefing your table if you try to help them.
Yeah, you're like, oh, hey, Flex, what do you need? Do you need some cards to get 1 clue? I'm just going to do this, and then look at this. Suck up a clue, just get another clue, investigate. Elder Sign effect. Look at the top 3 cards of my deck. Commit a deduction to this test. Fuck you, I'll get another clue.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. No, I mean, I love Seeker. It's my second most favorite class. So, like, I'm all for it.
I would never complain about our Seeker overlords.
No. Are they watching?
Damn
They're
right
always
you
watching.
wouldn't.
Yeah, actually, a little lore. That's not a globe. That's an eyeball looking at you, and that's the Secret Overlord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis, what's your number 2?
This is Mandy Thompson. So she is like not totally in spirit of the video because she's not like a card that you can play, but she is technically a secret card. So yeah, here we are. Mandy is really just sort of everything any seeker could aspire to be. She's like the pinnacle of seeker design, I think.
I really
she
hope
has
it never gets better.
yeah, like you get 5 in your book, man.
Yeah.
You have 1 punch, your dump stat is actually just a dump. And then you just get 3 and both of your defensive stats are very like good numbers. You're not gonna, if you don't want to fail a test on those, you can probably not fail it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Sheer ability is like it draws you more cards.
Yeah.
And not just more cards, but like the cards that you want. A lot of powerful seeker cards are kind of balanced around it. You only get one of these in your deck, but Mandy doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
She gets access to like 3 different classes. She's dip her toes into one of 3 different classes and like is responsible for a lot of those cards in those or some cards in those classes getting tabooed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, that she has the honor that a lot of secret cards have or like want to have, where they get a taboo rogue cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of like everything Secret Investigators could want to be. You get to play, you can either play like a hyper focus deck to just like power out whatever combo stuff you intend to play, or you can like play a big for fun deck where you just get to sift through a million cards and make people watch you search your deck.
I was gonna say I'd still love to see like someone build a Mandy pure support deck, but then I realized it's probably just gonna evolve into her just book v shrouding and winning the game still. You know?
Yeah.
And you know Travis is real about this because Travis just spent nearly 2 hours talking about Mandy today, and he's still talking about her.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, still the Mandy Thompson show. All right, let's get to our number ones. Bryn, what do you got?
Oh, I got the Prophesy Profana. This one, to me, represents the piece of the yellow color pie, which is we don't have to pay XP for our cards appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just how it is. If this card were any other color, it would cost you 10 to put in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow's just like, nah, but I pay 5, and like I'll pay 10, but I get 2 of them.
Yeah.
And that's just what they do.
It's actually like also very fitting because that's also like Travis's card also fits into that box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that at all. I think that's 100% true.
It's just what they do. One of the things they do best.
Yeah.
Is somehow dodge taboo changes.
Not that you're salty.
No, of course not.
No.
Only like all my good green cards remove themselves from the game now. Or can't hit high level green cards because they could hit a high level yellow cards.
Mm-hmm.
Just yeah. Somehow they don't change things except when they're like massively egregious.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mr. Rook.
Yeah.
Or Dr. Milan.
Yeah. And I mean, even now, like, the Profana was tabooed, and it's only ignore the first attack of opportunity.
Yeah, right? Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, no. I mean, like, at that point, like, why give them the foot, right?
Yeah. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
You get to avoid the first attack of opportunity in case you wanted to engage another enemy while you were engaged with the first enemies, then you could use the foot to evade them. Yeah.
And then there's also just like the crossboard movement for everybody stapled on there as well.
Yep, just in case.
Yeah.
Right? Like every time you think you're finished with this card, it's like, no, it does another thing.
Yeah. The one thing I'm actually pretty happy about with the Scarlet Keys design is that there's no card like this where you're like, I mean, like there's the customizable cards which are wordy as fuck, but they're not the same as like just being always wordy as fuck, right?
Yeah. Sometimes they just do one thing, but you got to pick it.
Yes, yeah. My number one card here may seem a little bit like not fitting with its 2 5 experience brothers over here, but this represents, for me, what Seekers, what they define is they love investigating. That's what they do. They care about their book stat, but also just the pure efficiency that Seekers have. Is because, as Bryn said once, and it stuck with me. Could you imagine, like, why don't, like, if Guardians got something like this, right, in a slot they don't care about that much, if at all, why just like +1 to fist while fighting? That'd be really powerful, right?
One costed fast.
Yeah, and it's also, one costed and fast. You don't even need to do an action to put it out there. It's just out there. And, like, this to me also represents that, like, Seeker level 0. Like, the big thing about that everyone always says about Monterey Jack, it's like he's fun and he's good, but there's so many level 0 Seeker cards that he wishes he could play because he only gets 5 of them, right? It's like they have some of the best level 0 cards for at least like what Seekers want to do, which is get clues. And I think the biggest example of that is Magnifying Glass, so much so that I need to not play Magnifying Glass just like on purpose, which I think is a suboptimal choice to get some diversity. Even most of the time, like if I'm playing Prophesy or Necronomicon, for example, just here, my other hand is probably holding a Magnifying Glass. And then it's the upgraded version, so I can even like get rid of something if I want to, or just like pull it back into my hand. It's just like, to me, the quintessential Seeker, super efficient, super cheap, asks nothing, and just gives you what you want to do at like a very high rate.
Okay, well, this card is actually probably like a bit of an amalgamation of the reason you guys have those on there. This card does like everything you want for a very reasonable rate and more, and asks nothing of you. And it's also abusable. So yeah, Necronomicon, it got tabooed very shortly after it was released. It's 6 secrets. You limit 1 per deck. You can. This does everything that Seeker cards do. We get plus skill value for any value. Any of your skills, doesn't matter which one. You can draw cards. You can just discover clues without tests. You got testless damage on it. It uses secrets, which would be a limitation if there weren't a ever increasing amount of ways to put more secrets onto it. There's limit 1 per deck, which would be a downside if you didn't have an absurd amount of searches, but also it's an item and a tome. It doesn't exhaust to do any of these. They're all lightning bolts. If you're really feeling wild, it commits for 5 book, because why not? Yeah, man. Like, this is the Seeker class in this card right here.
Yep, 100%.
You draw cards, you get clues, you boost your skills. Sometimes you just blow the piss out of an enemy, and everyone else is like, "How come you get to do that?"
Thank God it doesn't have movement. At least
it could.
It could.
It should.
It should. Honestly, that could be instead of the +2 skill value. It could just be
like at this point, why not?
Yeah, move to a connecting location.
Not even like just 5 secrets, move to any revealed location.
Yeah.
Easy.
Wow. Yeah. No. This is it's wild. And like,
I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't like just jam 2 more lines of text on there for movement and like maybe use six secrets to just tutor any card out of your deck.
Yeah.
Ooh, and play it as part of the lightning bolt.
Let's go.
Yeah.
At no cost.
You have to pay its cost, and that's how it's fair.
Oh, okay. No, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, like, actually, I understand why that isn't there. It's because it's totally redundant, because you would have to have a card in your deck that's better for the situation than Necronomicon, which, like, where are you getting?
Nothing. Yeah. Like, it's just, and also just, like, there's like, just so much that you can like load it up to, right? It's absurd. And it was what, taboo to how much XP?
8, I think.
Yeah. Good riddance. We actually have a Patreon contribution for this one. So this is from from Harrison. It's Cryptic Research. This card is just pure value without any real downside. Card draw is the thing that Seekers do better than other classes. That is true. And this is just taken to the mask. Also, the fact that it's the same as Ancestral Recall from Magic the Gathering, which is considered one of the most powerful cards in that game, really makes it stand apart and define Seekers as the power class to me. I mean, Ancestral Recall is a good card. That is very true.
That's what they say.
That is what they say, yeah. You know, that is kind of funny. Like, his blue is like, just like, you look at that cycle, right? Like, the cycle of, so in Magic the Gathering, for people who don't know, there was a cycle of cards that was a 1 mana, do 3 of something, right? And like, it shows that even though this happens outside of even just ARKHAM, like, this is like in all game design, there's like things like this where this happens. Because blue had draw 3 cards, which is an incredibly powerful effect for 1 mana, right? Red has Lightning Bolt, which is a very good effect. You can deal 3 damage to anything. It's a very good effect, right? Played all the time. Green, it's what's it called? It's the +3/+3.
Giant growth.
Yeah. And then Dark Ritual for black, which is also was played a lot. And then there's Healing Salve. Is that what it's called for white?
Yeah.
Which is heal 3 life.
Or prevent the next 3 damage.
Sorry, my mistake.
Whoa, buddy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, selling that card pretty short, he said.
Yeah.
No, it's still sucked.
So what we're saying is Healing Salve is the rogue of the core set from Magic the Gathering. Rest in peace. Thanks so much for watching. Next week we're going to be talking about the Survivor class. So get ready for one of us to probably put down Lucky or Look What I Found. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.